Hi, Kate Hartley here and welcome to Menopause Monday. So today I'm actually going to be talking about not specifically menopause, but how we can live a healthy lifestyle that is going to promote a healthy, natural, balanced menopause. Now, somebody commented on a post that I'd written the other day saying that having a healthy lifestyle is for the privileged. And I challenge that. I think it is our life that is our privilege, and we should honour it in order to live it fully. I think there is a very large blame culture out there. I think there's also a culture of, I suppose, something that doesn't support us taking care of ourselves and taking responsibility for our own health. And actually there is so much that we can do ourselves. I think when we're waiting to be rescued, whether that's by medication, whether it's by our GP, whether it's by the hospital, whether it's by our partners or our families, our work colleagues, our bosses, whatever it might be, you're always going to be left short. You're always going to be disappointed. We're all selfish. We're all designed for self-preservation. And that sense of self-preservation comes from, we become incredibly selfish. However, unfortunately, that self-preservation muscle is diluted along the way when it comes to how we live our lives because of the stresses that surround us, because of the way society is, the way marketing is around food, the way we are almost cajoled into expecting medications to help us get better, rather than thinking, hang on a minute, there is probably something that you can do yourself in order to improve your situation a lot. And that's where I'm coming from today. So I agree there are certain things that happen in life. We need medication. We need that professional care in order to help us get better. But this is outside of that zone. There is about 20% of individuals who are clinically benefited from medical interventions, whether that's a pill, whether it's an operation, whatever that might be, which means the 80% of that is down to what we can do to improve our lives. First and foremost, I think educate yourself. I love learning. I adore learning, and I would rather than listen to some crap on the television, I would rather listen to something that's actually going to help me improve an element of my life. I am menopausal, or I'm postmenopausal now. When I first went into the menopause, when I was perimenopausal, I had all the symptoms that most other people have as well. I probably didn't have them as badly as some other people have because I've always had a relatively healthy lifestyle. However, there are things that I've changed since going into perimenopause that have made a massive difference to how I've navigated the menopause naturally. So yeah, I can understand there are certain people who need hormone replacement therapy. There are certain people who don't want to look at sort of natural menopause. That's fine. This isn't for you. This is for you, those people who actually really feel that there's something that they could do themselves to help themselves through the menopausal stage of life. And very much around the fact that a healthy lifestyle is not just for the privileged. So I'm just going to go through a few top tips that I have that might help you make your money go further, and also an approach to how you look at this situation. So pound for pound, dollar for dollar, fast food is incredibly cheap. It's really, really good value. It means you don't have to prepare it. It's there, it's tasty. It's lacking in a lot of nutrition, despite what they say to you. They want you to eat it. It's like even healthy stuff on the supermarket shelf. Turn it around, have a look at the label. Often there's a lot of stuff in there you actually really wouldn't want to eat. And it's marketed probably on the health food shelf. We have to become really aware of food marketing, how it's designed to trick us, and also understand that when you can eat from a wholesome approach, so whole foods approach, doesn't cost a lot. You don't have to have the organic vegetables. You don't have to have the chia seed smoothies. You don't have to have the luxury this or that. you can buy the carrots, you can buy the bananas, you can buy the potatoes, you can buy the lentils, pulses, chickpeas. They cost a fraction of what, you'll probably spend. So per meal, okay, you might think, oh, well, Happy Meal's good value. It's cheap, it's fast, da-da-da. Children love it, I love it, whatever it might be. However, when you think of how many meals, I don't know, chickpeas, for example, I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but let's just take them for an example, or a bag of rice. So how many meals a bag of rice is going to make? Add to that some frozen vegetables. Frozen vegetables are incredibly cheap. They're frozen soon after picking, so they're nutritious. Even if you can't afford fresh vegetables and fruit, you can buy the frozen varieties. For my smoothies, I always buy frozen fruit. There's no point in buying the fresh fruit. Apart from the fact I actually think frozen produce is probably better for us, because hopefully it has more nutrients than the fresh variety, unless you've grown it your own. Because to be honest, by the time it hits the shelf, it's probably not that nutritious. At least with the frozen stuff, it's frozen pretty much just after picking. So it should have good nutritional value. But frozen fruits, frozen vegetables, they're incredibly good value. Yeah, a frozen berry is not going to have the same constitution as a fresh berry once it's defrosted, but who cares? If the reason is money, frozen veggies and fruit are the way to go. They will save you a fortune. Also, reduce the amount of meat and fish you eat. You can get so many healthy proteins by going down the plant protein route. You don't have to become vegan or vegetarian. Just sub a couple of meals a week, cut down the meat, and have whole vegetable-based foods, legumes, grains. Yes, they might make you a bit windy. Your gut will get used to it. But if and you may not be able to eat grains, but just please accept the fact that we're all eating way more meat. And if money is the factor for you, cut back on the amount of meat that you're eating. It'll do the environment good, it'll be better for you, and it'll also be better for your wallet. Next thing is meal prep, something that we discuss in our fit community all the time, not just because it helps you get super organized, so you're not reaching for the crappy stuff when you're hungry and tired, because you've already got your meal prepped and ready to go. Meal prep, when you're doing it in bulk, you're becoming more organized. So your shopping list, you know what you need to go. We supply all the shopping lists and things like that. So you know what your grocery list is, and you're going to go home and then you cook it and you divide it into various portion sizes, into meals, and then you've got that there for the week ahead. There is so little waste when you do meal prep. Well, in fact, there is no waste when you do meal prep, unless you decide not to eat it that week and you've already defrosted it and it goes over its date. So, meal prepping, you can buy in bulk, which is going to save you money. A pack of, if you buy pre-cooked chicken, I would cook your own. Pre-cooked is always more expensive than cooking your own. But, for instance, if you buy a pack of pre-cooked chicken, but you only want a couple of bits for it for your meal one night, do batch cooking, prepare it so you don't waste the extra bits of chicken because they might go off, or you're thinking, oh, what the heck shall I eat? Shall I just eat them out of the packs? I'm hungry. You're not getting a nutritionally balanced meal that way. When you buy in bulk, when you prepare your meal ahead of time, or your meals ahead of time, you're going to save waste, you're going to save money, you're going to save time, and you're going to be making the right choices, which are going to support your long-term health. If you can grow your own. In some instances, you don't even need to buy seeds. So you can take the seeds out of the tomatoes. You can take the seeds out of the peppers that you buy at the shops. Take the seeds out of the chilies, the cucumbers. I've grown so many fruits and vegetables that way by literally just using the seeds from the original plant. So I decided I wanted to grow those long Ramiro peppers. They're quite pricey in the shop. I bought one pack of the Ramiro peppers, took the seeds out, put them in some soil, kept them nice and damp in a warm place, and they germinated. I had an entire conservatory full of delicious homegrown peppers. growing your own doesn't take an awful lot of effort, and you don't need an awful lot of space either. You need a few shelves. I think it's about getting creative and having a willingness actually to try these things. And if you're going to grow your own, I would grow the stuff that costs more to buy in the shop. So maybe grow your own rocket, grow your own coriander, grow your own herbs, have a herb garden. Herb gardens they're lovely to have in the garden, but they're also pretty hardy, the majority are. And then you've got access to your own fresh herbs. Herbs are really, really good for us. What else? I think also reducing sugars, being really aware of the sugars that we're eating, and also the sugars that are hidden in our foods, because our foods are designed to get us, the processed food, particularly fast food, is designed to get us coming back for more. So it's high in salt, high in sugars, high in the wrong kinds of fats. So although you might think it's really tasty and delicious, it's actually designed to make you addicted to it, to keep you coming back for more. And because it doesn't have as much nutrition as eating wholesome food does, you're going to be hungrier faster. So that's why, you know, after, I don't know, you might buy a takeaway meal, and then a couple of hours later, you're hungry again. If you'd eaten a wholesome meal, you wouldn't be hungry already. So it's about understanding that, yes, meal per meal, maybe, possibly, the fast food, the junk food is cheaper for the bulk of the meal that you eat, but it doesn't keep you full for as long. And nutritionally, it's not as healthy as the wholesome food, which in the long run, when you consider the fact it keeps you going for a lot longer, it's helping you thrive with your health because you're feeding your body what it needs. It's so much better value. So next tip for you is to walk more, to exercise more. You don't have to have a personal trainer. You don't have to spend anything to get healthy and fit. You can run if you want to. Okay, you would need a decent pair of running shoes if you're going to start to do that. But walk more, walk fast. Park the car further away at the supermarket. It always amazes me that everybody tries to get in so close to the supermarket, the supermarket entrance. Park on the other side of the car park. You're going to be walking more, which is going to be beneficial for your health, mental health as well. If you want to do strength training exercises, which if you're menopausal, you really should be including strength training exercises, like things that either include weight or you use your body weight. So exercises like squats, the plank, push-ups. If you can't do push-up, don't sweat it. You can do push-ups against the wall until you build up enough strength. YouTube is literally flooded with free strength training workouts. I can get you 2 weeks completely free access to our entire library of workouts. If you want to have a look at that and then, you know, get some ideas, it will set you up for success for ages and ages and ages. So that costs absolutely nothing. All you have to do is commit to doing it. But as a menopausal woman, we should all be exercising because of the muscle atrophy that happens. So you might think you're getting cellulite. It's probably not. It's probably the muscle breaking down and the fact that we're losing collagen in our skin and it makes the skin look dimply. It's probably not cellulite. So you can probably save some money on those stupid potions you're buying too, because literally, if you want to get rid of bumpy stuff, it's what you do from the inside out, not the outside in. There are probably some very expensive treatments out there that can help. But as we're talking about budgeting and the fact that healthy lifestyle is a privilege, I'm not talking to that category of people. Deep breathing is incredibly important. So not only does it help to calm us, which is important through menopause because we can get quite anxious, something I had. I've all of a sudden felt this anxiety attack me. I dealt with it. I did my deep breathing, I cut out sugars, I reduced my caffeine, reduced my alcohol, made sure I was eating healthy fats, made sure I'm eating vegetables at least twice a day, normally 3 times a day. Again, it makes the biggest difference. Cruciferous vegetables specifically are really good if you're menopausal. There's something in them called DIM that helps to get rid of the estrogen dominance that the majority of us have during menopause, because although our estrogen is falling, our progesterone is falling faster, and so that's why we have that estrogen dominance. If you are overweight, fat creates its own estrogen. So if you need to shed a few pounds, I highly suggest you get rid of those few pounds. It's all you're doing is exacerbating your situation, your symptoms. Sleep is also really important. Now, sleep is one of those that is going to be benefited enormously if you can get outside regularly, because being outside in the ultraviolet light, it helps to stimulate our melatonin, the production of melatonin, which is our sleep hormone. And it also boosts our serotonin levels, one of our feel-good hormones. We actually need serotonin in order to create melatonin. So being outside, managing your stress is absolutely vital to getting you through the menopause symptom free. It wasn't until about 3 years ago when I actually realised the importance of managing stress, and stress on every level. So nutritional stress, toxic people stress, hanging out with the wrong kind of group stress, responding to negative comments stress. Negative people try and bring other people down to their level. I know it's tempting, but if social media is just like, oh, I've got a screen between me, I'm going to be a real and they think they can get away with it, and it's just like, yeah, see what I just said to you. Don't even rise to it. Negative people, just let them suck in the other negative people. As tempting as it is to come back with a funny quip, ignore it. It's a waste of your energy. It's a waste of your time. Put your time to something more beneficial for you. And who cares what they think? Let them bloody swivel. We've all. I think, if you're still watching this, you clearly have an interest in healthier living and doing what you can to support yourself. So if you've got this far, I commend you, and just cut those toxic people out. Even if they're not necessarily people that you know a lot, they're just leaving their little niggly messages. Just let them niggle. Block button. It's really easy. And so, you want to include stress techniques, and deep breathing is one of the easiest ones you can do. It stimulates the vagus nerve, which helps us to relax, and we can't actually be relaxed and stressed at the same time. So if you're waking up at night and you're feeling that anxiety coming across you, just focus on your breath. So I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong way to do it. Ideally, you want to breathe in through your mouth, hold your breath for a few seconds, then breathe in through your nose, hold it for a few seconds, then breathe it really slowly out through your mouth. And as you practice that more, you're going to be able to take more air in, hold it for longer, and breathe it out more slowly. And that's the aim, is to sort of really slowly, and then hold it for as long as you can, and then breathe it out really slowly. And that in and of itself will help to detoxify your body, because it stimulates our lymphatic system. Our lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like the heart system does. So movement helps stimulate the lymphatic system, but so does deep breathing. So deep breathing is absolutely crucial on so many different levels. And make sure you are prioritizing sleep. I know it's really tempting to think, oh, I'm just so tired and I can't be bothered to read, but I think I'll just watch something just to let my brain go off. And then an hour later, it's just like, whatever time is late for you, but it's an hour later. I did this last night. It was something I wanted to watch. It was absolutely really interesting. In fact, it was all about sleep. I don't know if you've come across Matthew Walker. He's fantastic. And I got so ensconced in what he was saying. And so I went to bed later than I would otherwise have done. It's just like, yeah, she preaches, but she's not doing what she says. And I regretted it this morning. When you prioritize your sleep, our body heals properly, our brain gets cleaned properly, but also the hormones that you have that tell you that you're hungry and full work effectively. When you're sleep deprived, they don't work effectively. So you might be eating more than you actually need to do, and you won't be feeling full quick enough because those hormones are askew. So as well as the fact, I think we can be more irritable when we're tired. I definitely can be. And compounding that with the fact we're probably going to make poor food choices because we tend to reach for the carby stuff like the sandwiches or the crisps or the biscuits or the cookies or cake. And then we sort of set up that, almost like that negative loop of bad sleep, reach for the sugary stuff, eat the stuff, feel guilty, berate ourselves. Now we're really cross, we're really pissed off. We can't go to sleep because we've filled our bodies full of rubbish, and so we don't sleep very well again, and we repeat the whole situation. And to compound that, we might actually think, oh God, I just feel so bloody awful, I'm gonna have a glass or two of wine. And then all of a sudden it's half a bottle. I hope it's not a full bottle per person, but you know what I'm saying. it sets us up for this negative loop. And yes, sometimes life gets so crazy that it's just like, I don't give a flying. I'm just going to eat the cake and drink the wine. And I think sometimes that's absolutely fine. But if you're eating the cake and drinking the wine every day, that's when the problems start. It's not about taking everything out of your diet. It's about having treats and really appreciating those moments when you do think, oh, F it, I can't be bothered today. I will get back on course tomorrow. And I think there's a lot to be said for that, because life has to be a bit fun. We don't want to be living on, well, I would never say live on chicken breast and broccoli for the rest of your life. I think it would drive anybody insane. But, you know, there is a lot to be said for broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables and lean meats. But if budget is an issue, I have a meal plan prep guide. It will take you through all the reasons why you should meal plan. It will explain how to effectively meal plan. It even gives you the meal plan, 3-week meal plan. So it tells you what to go shopping for, how to prepare it, the meals it will make. It's a really, really useful resource. It's something that I share with all the people that join my fit community. If you would like that, send me a message. I'll send that out to you. I also have a deep breathing ebook that you might find helpful. It's not just about deep breathing. It talks about how to improve the air quality in our houses. It obviously does do deep breathing techniques. It talks about the lymphatic system and the importance of breath on our health in general. And I also have a sleep ebook. So if you struggle with sleep, getting to sleep, staying asleep, I actually have an email series that dives into sleep in a lot more detail. Sleep is one of those things that I just love learning more about because it's absolutely fascinating. So yeah, and I think also be the owner of your own health. Start searching, start Googling. I've got some really good resources. In fact, I don't know if I'll put, yes, I will. Now, if this is the YouTube you're watching, I will put the sources that I've used to reference this particular video underneath it. If I can get those quickly in a comment under Instagram and IGTV, I will do. Otherwise, you can always email me for the sources for this particular video. But there is so much information out there pointing to the fact that your perception of what is cheap with food sometimes can be a bit skewed long term. And I just really want you to understand that, because I think it's really easy to think fast food's the cheap, easy option. But for long-term health, it's not. And healthy living is not a privilege. Our life is a privilege. Healthy living is not a privilege. Healthy living is something we should all be aspiring to do more of, more regularly. Keeping it balanced, of course, but I don't know, this is no rehearsal. I don't want to be anal about it, but I definitely want to get to my old age, if I can, and be able to do the things that I want to do without some horrid autoimmune disease cropping up, or I don't know, something horrible, which I think we all want to die asleep in our beds, don't we, comfortably, if we're lucky enough. But I think there is so much that we can do. And just bringing it back to menopause finally, menopause symptoms can be managed incredibly well if you're prepared to make a few healthy choices. So I hope this has helped sort of go over the obvious ones. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up. And yeah, I mean, for future Menopause Mondays, if you have a particular topic you want me to cover, please let me know. I am going to be going over, like I mentioned a bit earlier, about what you think might be cellulite and muscle atrophy in a future video very soon. I will also talk about cellulite, because I know it's an issue for a lot of us ladies. So I will be going into that in more detail. So look out for that. But otherwise, have a great rest of your day and catch you soon.